Hey YouTube, it's Mrs. Rains here, and you guessed it, you see the title. This is going to be a kitchen tour video. Keep in mind that we do rent, so I really am just making the best of what was already here. And if you want to see a more in-depth look at some of the parts of the kitchen, I'm going to talk about that as I go around. And we live in a townhouse, so our kitchen and dining are combined. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to back you up here to the entryway. So this is how you enter our kitchen. This is from the living room. If you remember our living room tour, you know kind of where you are. This is the stairs going down to the basement, and there's just a half wall for our, that separates our kitchen and dining away from our living room. So as you walk in, as soon as you walk into the kitchen, this is the view you get. I'll just give you a quick pan, and hopefully this is not taking you too fast. It's not a very large kitchen, but we have made do with the space that we have, and I'm going to show you how we do that. First, I'm going to start off with the dining room. This is our dining area. It's a very basic dining area, mind you. I know some of the house tours you'll see people have their tables decorated. I do put out placemats and chargers and that sort of thing, but only during the holidays. And I thought it would be unrealistic to dress my table up when we don't usually keep it that way. We do it very basic when we have dinner, usually just some placemats, plates, silverware, etc. And the table's not set because it's early in the morning, so everyone is actually gone to school or work. And so the table looks like this the majority of the time. A little detail about the table. This table was made by my husband. Funny story was that we went looking for a replacement dining room table, and the one that we purchased it and ordered it, and when it got to our house, it was cracked. It had chunks missing off the corners. It was in such bad shape that we just were like, we took it back. And when we took it back to the customer service of the furniture store that we received it from, and I'm not going to say the name of the furniture store because I'm not trying to bash the store in any way. It could have been a delivery thing, but when we took it back, they were telling us that it was going to take 8 to 10 weeks to deliver a new table because of the popularity of the table that we purchased. Well, I had already gotten rid of my old table, and we are a family that's used to sitting down at dinner time together, so that just was not going to work. So jokingly, my husband said, I could build you a table faster than they could bring us a table. And I said, that's a good idea. I wonder if we could do it. So he immediately got to work figuring out the dimensions and what we were going to need, and he allowed my kids to help him as well. I helped a little bit with some sanding and with the staining process. But what he did was he purchased a table on Craigslist that already had an existing apron. And if you don't know, the apron is this part here, just the bottom part of the table. So he had the existing apron. He removed the top, which was a really old butcher block top, but it was just too small. So the old butcher block top, he was able to then sand and moisturize and then sell on Craigslist as just a plain butcher block top, which we did end up selling. But he decided to build us a new top, and he just used some wood that he purchased. He was able to sand it. He stained it this really pretty gray color because I kind of wanted that farm table look. So this is what it looks like. He did a really great job. I'm very happy with it. And he just put braces under the bottom. He was able to screw and bolt everything together along with bolting it to the apron that was existing, and then we just gave it a fresh coat of paint on the apron. I was able to help with that part. I had these existing chairs which were beige at the time. I found these seat covers at IKEA. They don't fit perfectly, but that's okay because eventually I'm going to have new chairs. These are just to make do for now, but I ended up using the seat covers and painting the legs white, which previously were brown. And you can kind of see here, if you look under this seat cover, you can kind of see the beige color. It just didn't go with the scheme anymore. I had a dark wood table here before with these beige tables, and it had dark wood legs, and it went well before, but I wanted a cleaner, fresher look, so this is what we ended up with. I just have some faux hydrangea, and it's in a silver vase. The silver vase I found at Big Lots, I believe, probably about 7 or 8 years ago, and I've had it ever since, and it's actually kind of aging a little bit, so I just keep that because that's a very simple decor piece that I really enjoy. And then this light fixture obviously came with the rental, but behind that is a painting. I actually painted that painting myself. I have a few, works of art in the house that are, native to me, and a few that my mom has done. But this one specifically is one that I had done. And originally that frame was gold, but I spray painted it a matte silver color. And then over here is just a family portrait. Over here, these curtains, I actually have also, you saw them in my living room tour. If you haven't watched that, go watch that as well. But I found them on Amazon, and they were very inexpensive for the set of the 2 panels. And these are just regular, I think they are considered 84 inch, I think, which is your regular length for a patio door. I got these true to length, even though the ones in the living room I got longer so that it would kind of swag at the bottom. These I got true to length because people go in and out of the screen door all the time. So these curtains were, I think, 25 bucks on Amazon. Very inexpensive. Sorry that the door looks so hazy, but it's actually a rainy day here in Maryland. So of course, this is the perfect time to film a video. But I'll go a little closer so you can kind of get a view. This is the print on the curtain. These are supposed to be blackout curtains, and I don't know that they necessarily black out the light, but they do obscure the light, so you don't feel like you're getting a suntan when you're sitting close to the windows. But over here, that's just our patio, our grill, and our backyard area. Doesn't that look pretty? Look at all those pretty fall colors and the trees and stuff. So anyway, moving on with the tour, I have just a picture collage here, and I'm not going to zoom in on that because there's family members that have not given permission for their children to be on YouTube. But I also have here, just a few inspirational things that I kind of like to look at in the mornings, just some scripture and whatnot. Here is my coffee bar. I have an entire video on that if you want a more in-depth look at that. The only thing I've done differently to the coffee bar is I've added some holiday napkins, and I've added some pumpkin spice latte instant mix. And I believe everything else you've pretty much seen. That's all I added there. Over here, if you pan over to this countertop, I have some more family photos that I just like looking at. They're kind of inspirational throughout the day. Behind there is a little spray bottle with some cleaner. I have my paper towel holder. I have this candy dish. I have, and incidentally, that's Cameron's leftover candy from Halloween. We don't celebrate Halloween, but he did go out with a friend, and he was able to bring back some candy, so I'm trying to get rid of that as quickly as possible. And over here, I just have my dish towels. The gold dish towel isn't normally there, but since I added the holiday napkins with a little hint of gold, I thought it would be nice to put these towels out on my towel holder. And behind there's just a little gray towel, so that's what that looks like. And this also is a candle from Home Goods, a recent purchase, but it does kind of go with the gold motif. So I actually have 2 of those. I have both burning because I don't like bad smells in the kitchen. I struggle with that. I don't know if, comment in the section below if you also struggle with the smell of like leftover, cooking smells and bad smells in your kitchen. I really, really don't like it. I prefer a fresh, clean smell. So over here I have a white tray. This white tray I actually found at IKEA. It's actually a candle tray, but it was for $3.99. I couldn't pass that up because it actually fits everything that I use on a regular basis. So I have here some hand soap. That's lemon verbena, one of my favorite scents. If you were paying attention to my caddy video, or if you saw the caddy video, you know that I also have the lemon verbena room spray for my kitchen. It's in my cleaning caddy, so I have the matching hand soap as well. And then over here, right next to it, I have my sponge. These are washable and reusable. I love this sponge. I talked about this in my cleaning caddy video. You can consider this my 2 thumbs up. I love it. It does a great job cleaning. It's easy to wring out completely and get to the point of where it will air dry because it is microfiber. And then it's also wonderful to throw it in the washing machine, and I have not had to switch it out. I've been able to reuse the same one, so that's great. They've been holding up really well. Next to it, I have my little scrubby sponge that I use for pots, pans, and anything that's kind of needs a little bit more elbow grease. And that's by KitchenAid. I also found that at Home Goods. That was about $3.99. The sponges came in a 2-pack for $4.99. And the lemon verbena hand soap, I believe, is $6.99, but it's so worth it because you only need a little bit to go a long way. And it also is in a very large container. I mean, 32 ounces. You'll take a long time to actually go through all of that. Next to that, I have my soap dispenser, which is actually a oil dispenser. I had this for many years. I believe I purchased it at Walmart, and it may have cost me somewhere around $4. I originally had oil in it, but then I bought something different for my oil, and I saw this on YouTube and decided to give it a try. And I strongly recommend putting your dish soap in a oil container. And the reason why is when you flip it over, you only get a little bit at a time, but people are too impatient to kind of stand there and wait for it to drip out, so they'll just use less soap. And I'm not saying that less soap is more economical, and you really only need a little soap to go a long way when cleaning dishes. So I mean, I know people who don't even use soap. They just consider hot water their method of sanitizing their dishes. So I personally need dish soap, but this helps me to keep from using it and buying it so much, because I noticed that when my kids are doing dishes, they will use a lot of soap. So this has been a really good addition to my countertop. Next to it, I just have some lemon oil. Oh, by the way, the dish soap I use is Ajax, and it's the Ajax antibacterial. The lemon oil you see here, I got this from Amazon. It was on sale for $6.99, I believe, for this 4-ounce bottle. But I've had this for probably 7 months, and it's not empty yet. And there's still quite a bit in there. And I just use that to diffuse at night. I got this tip from At Home with Nikki. If you haven't subscribed to her, you need to. If you are looking to be a better homemaker, she has some great tips and tricks. And one of them she mentioned was a oil diffuser. And now that I started diffusing oil, I cannot live without it. I actually have one in my kitchen. I keep a diffuser next to my bedside table where I diffuse lavender at night. I highly recommend it for a restful sleep. And the sound of the diffuser is so low key that it's really quite soothing. So the oil you can get on Amazon. I also got my diffuser on Amazon. I'll show you that in just a second. But that little flower you see in the vase, that little vase and flower I've had for a very long time, probably around 14 or 15 years. My oldest son made this for me when he was in preschool, and it was such a sweet little thing that I've kept for years and years. It has a few chips and cracks and scratches, but I vowed to not get rid of it because it was the first thing he was so proud to give to me. And I think he might have been 2 years old at the time, and 2, maybe 3. He might have been just turning 3 at the time. And he was so proud to come home with his little face and saying that he made this all by himself. And he was so proud that he was able to paint that by himself and brought home that little flower. And it had a little card that said, "Thank you for helping me grow." It was such a sweet little thing that his teacher had done with him. So I keep that, and it makes me think about him, and I think about how much he's grown as a young man. And it's really important to me in my kitchen. I'm in here literally all day long. This is why I have pictures and keepsakes, because it's important to me to see what my kids have done and to think about my family. So moving on, this is my oil diffuser. It's by the brand name Saviour. I'll get a little closer. And that's what it looks like. It actually has multiple settings. It has an automatic shut off after 2 hours. I think it's, no, 4 hours. I'm sorry, 4 hours has an automatic shut off, or it'll automatically shut off if the water reservoir is empty. It also has multiple LED lights installed, so you can have it be whatever colors you want it to be. I highly recommend it. This is on Amazon. I got it for less than $20. I don't know how much it is right now, but if you search Saviour oil diffuser, you will see it. Now right here at the window, I have these curtains. I found these curtains at Home Goods. They were about $12.99, I think. It was either $12.99 or $14.99, not more than that. And it's just the this spoon and fork motif. The reason I purchased it is actually I already had the dark gray and light gray version of the rug. It's not showing up well here on camera, but it's already the spoon and fork motif, so I kind of wanted the matching set. And I wanted something different than what was in the dining room, because I kind of look at that almost like a separate room, even though it's in the same area. And if you keep going over here, I just have my regular dish pan. That was purchased on Amazon for $12.99 as well. I have over here a little bakery basket for all of our bread items. I found that at Home Goods for $5.99. I have this utensil holder. It's a Threshold brand by Target. I found that for $24.99. Keep in mind, it does not come with exactly all of these pieces because a couple of these pieces I already had and I just kind of added to my canister. But it does come with a canister, and I believe 5 of those items that you see pictured there. Over here is a wood cutting board. I got this wood cutting board from IKEA. IKEA has these for, I believe, $12.99 or something along those lines. I didn't pay very much for it, but it's a very large cutting board, and I mainly got it when we first moved in because I just don't like our countertops. I'm not a fan of Formica, and so since I don't have any solid surface countertops, I was finding ways to put things on my counters to kind of hide them, but this cutting board has come in good handy. I also have a smaller cutting board back there that I use for when there's a helper in the kitchen, like one of the kids. They use the small cutting board as I use the larger one, and we can work together at the same time. I just have some olive oil back here. This extra virgin olive oil is Casa de Oliva, and that is actually from the, I'm trying to think of where this is from. I know I got it someplace for a really good price, and I can't remember, I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly what it's from, but I really love it, so if I run across it again, I'm probably going to buy it in bulk. But I always use extra virgin olive oil, and next to it you see our little olive oil sprayer. I'll pull that closer so you can see. It's by Misto, and I got this from the, I think I got this from Amazon. Yes, I got this from Amazon. It's aerated by pumping, using the pump on the top, and it allows me not to use too much oil in cooking. And then over here on the stove, I just have another candle. I have another one of these towels like you saw on my towel holder. The microwave is here. There's some pictures that my son drew, along with, I keep our hand can opener over there. Over here, when you get closer to the fridge, and by the way, I do have a fridge tour. Please take a look at that when you get a chance. But above here, I just have this basket and this silver tray. The silver tray is actually a picture frame that I painted and started, and I replaced the bottom to use as a serving tray. I'm not going to pull it down for you because it's actually pretty heavy, but I use this when we're serving things outside. And then in the basket is just potato chips. I keep the snacks there for my kids for throwing it in a lunch or grabbing a snack on the way out the door. There's also the pantry, and the pantry tour is available if you just kind of take a look at the videos. It's along with the refrigerator video. One thing I will show you is I do keep an apron hanging on the inside doorway. I use that when I'm trying to get dinner ready and I don't want to ruin my clothes, obviously, or if I'm doing house cleaning. I do have my quick cleaning checklist. If you take a look, I do have a video on this as well. And also just a little area to keep coupons. I try to keep coupons here because it makes it easier when I'm doing a shopping list, or if I'm checking on groceries in the pantry, if I can get it all right there at the same place. And I also write things down here. And I also have my family write things down here on the grocery list on the whiteboard so that I can actually know what we need to get when we're at the store. And I can kind of correlate that to the coupons. So I like having that all in one area when I'm actually making the grocery list. And I actually do have a video on making a grocery list up as well. Over here is the chore schedule and job descriptions for the kids. I have these 3 little tins clipped up here, and they have all of our whiteboard supplies. I just have the weekly planner on this side, and the today's special area for where I can write what's for dinner. This is the school schedule because my kids are on an A-day, B-day schedule. And as I pan around, you can kind of get a look at the kitchen. This video is already very long, but I will go into detail really quickly just to show you what's in the cabinets. So on this side, I just keep glassware, mugs, and coffee supplies at the top because it is right next to the coffee bar. And anybody who knows me knows I love drinking straws, so I do keep those in there as well. Just below that, this little small drawer is actually a junk drawer. I try to keep it semi-organized, but it's almost impossible with my family. This one is my husband's cabinet. He keeps his own things in there that have to do with cleaning tools, and he has the hair cutting supplies in there as well. Underneath the sink, I just have what everybody has under their sink, which is cleaning supplies. And I also try to keep that semi-organized as well. Perhaps I'll do a video on that. Let me know in the comment section if you want to see that. Up here in this cabinet, I have my dishware. And we don't have a whole ton of dishes because I just don't like keeping up with that much stuff. And I'm not into china. I'm probably one of the few women who are not into china. But in this cabinet, I have vases for when I have flowers. Tucked around the corner, there are some extra lunch boxes. These are dish towels, a colander, and a mixing bowl. Over here, I have glass bowls for serving. This is also a set of serving bowls. You can't see in there, but there's a bunch of serving bowls in there as well. These are supplies for my Ninja. And up here, I just have serving trays and platters. At the very top up there, it's hard to see, but this thing here is actually a rack for putting hot pots if you're serving something on the stove. Down here, this drawer is actually plastic bags that I use for putting away leftovers and for for preparing for lunches. Under here, this slide out is actually going to be my plastic wrap and foil. And down here, I just have some plastic goods and cutlery. Over here, this drawer is just the grilling supplies that my husband uses. You can see that. He has his grill daddy and skewers and all that kind of thing. And this is also where I keep my little pot holders. I like having them right next to the stove, so that's why that drawer pulls double duty. Under here, I just have smaller appliances. There's some s'more makers down here. That is a griddle. There's a teapot. Here's my toaster, and here is our tabletop grill. Up here is my stemware. This is just above the stove. Stemware and serveware. That has to do with like the pitchers, my IMSA pitchers back there, a glass pitcher. This is for, you know, hot water for tea can go in here when you're serving. There's some little teacups up there. And then this is just the little bit of stemware that I have. And over here, right next to the stove, is a cabinet with just seasonings and seasoning packets. And below the microwave, there is a drawer for your silverware. And below that, there is a cabinet that has my plastic containers. And these are plastic cups when I have small children over, and a little cooler that we use when we take day trips. On this side, underneath the island, is a drawer that has all of my utensils in it that I use for cooking and baking. This drawer has some utensils. These are plastic utensils and sauces and whatnot, and little plasticware coolers. Not coolers, but what do you call these? I want to say canteens, but I know that thermos containers. And these are all for lunch making. Incidentally, because my baking supplies are in the next drawer over, I do have my measuring cups and my sifter in here just because they don't have anywhere else to live. And then these are just napkins that I put in lunches as well. And then in this cabinet is just pots and pans. And there is my crock pot and my bakeware. These are like cookie sheets and bakeware and lids for the pots and pans. And that's also the top and the base to my Ninja are under there. And up here I just have this bowl. This bowl was actually gifted to me. This is a wedding gift from my best friend's mom, who is like a mother to me as well. She got this as a gift. I don't know where she got it from, but I've had it my entire marriage. And usually what goes in here is fruit, but right now there's no fruit in there. But what is in here are these little cards and a Sharpie. I got these little cards from the dollar spot at Target for $1 a piece. There's 8 little mini note cards in each pack. And I'm going to actually handwrite some notes and some scripture in here. And I'm going to put those in the lunch drawer so that I can kind of surprise, you know, Cameron or my hubby with those. So that's that. Oh, and above here is a hanging pot rack. The hanging pot rack actually came with the house. But the pots and pans are a Cuisinart set that was gifted to me by my mother. And I have one Calphalon pan that was gifted to me by my mother-in-law for making rice. And that is about it. So that is the entire thing. I hope this video is not too long for you. I'm very sorry that it's so long, but I was trying to give an in-depth view and talk about some of the things that I actually purchased and where I got those things from. A lot of you ask and I never know. So yeah, that is an overview of my kitchen. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are able to see kind of how I organize things. It's not the most organized kitchen, but it's organized enough for my taste. and my family can handle this level of organization without making it too much of a mess. So hopefully you got some ideas, and if you have some ideas of things that I can maybe tweak or change that might be better, I would love to hear it in the comments section. But this is all for this video. Put God at the head of all you do, and I'll see you on the next one.